Hey guys, welcome back to today's second live stream already. I have found something in the Bitcoin charts just 15 minutes ago that I have to show you because this is a huge warning what potentially can unfold here in the next 24 to 48 hours potentially. And of course, we're going to talk about a lot of altcoins that I earlier forgot. I have prepared again a shit ton of charts for you guys here. We will also draw the winner or the winners of the giveaway that was mentioned. So definitely don't miss out on that, and let's go. Hi guys, welcome back. Sorry that I had to leave earlier so abruptly, but the problem is when my girlfriend shows up and we go to gym, normally she sends me a message to tell me she's leaving the house. She did not do that. She was just saying, I'm here, and then I have to run. So, but regardless of that, I'm here right now, no girlfriend, so I have a lot of time to go over charts with you and give you new trades here. So then let's dive right into it. So earlier I said, potentially we're gonna see here a turnaround on DXY, and this is unfolding right now. So we are going here a little bit lower, and by everything that I see going on in the markets right now, this should be now a topping candle. At least it looks like a topping candle to me right now. If we are closing it as it is, because if you zoom in here and you see that this is a doji candle after we had a move here to the upside, so there is a 70% probability on the next candle going to the downside like this, closer to 97.4, 97.2 points here on the DXY, back into lower levels, and from there a continuation to the downside. So what did I find 15 minutes ago on the Bitcoin chart? Here on the Bitcoin CME chart, we got now a CME gap from Friday over the weekend. So, and this is bad news for Bitcoin right now. It doesn't have to get closed immediately. We could move way higher, but this will be now the first major pullback target. So just in case that we are going first higher here to $130,000, $140,000, this will be then the level that we come back to if it's not playing out over the next 48 hours already, that we come down here and then move here into higher levels. The gap is from $121,470 all the way down to $118,585. So this is almost a $3,000 gap. And this will be definitely close at some point because it's like 2.8%. 2.8% of a move that has to be closed here. So, but for now, we keep pumping to the upside. So, and the trend is our friend until proven otherwise. And the first major indication for that is here on the BLX chart, this inverse head and shoulders pattern that has just broken this neckline on that upward sloping trend line here. And this on a higher time frame, if you're looking for a swing trade, this is a signal to get in right now to trade this all the way to the top of the logarithmic growth curve here to $166,000 approximately. Because you see here on the weekly scale that fractal that I had pointed out here that we are more or less following. So here we should get another parabolic move, most likely next week or the following week to the upside. So this can happen here as here lined out in a matter of 6 weeks. Within 6 to 8 weeks, we could actually reach that target here and potentially even go above that. So for this one, I actually expect that we go above that because we have way more money coming in, institutions, ETFs, everything. And that will, in my opinion, break the logarithmic growth curve for the first time ever. Now, when we're going into the daily chart, also want to mention this here quickly again, as I did earlier, and then I'm going to show you some new charts, just for the people that were potentially not there earlier. So we are outside the Bollinger Bands, and this never stays for a long time like that. So in the next 2 or 3 days, we should at least come back into the Bollinger Band. That doesn't mean that we have to go all the way to the middle band, to $110,000, $111,000, but at least come back into it, which could result to a drop to $170,000, $160,000, then start going sideways, slowly up again, but within the Bollinger Band, because that we are so long outside is not normal and is not lasting really long. So at some point, the Bollinger Band's gonna catch up with the price, and then the price is back in the Bollinger Bands, and that will lead to a small correction. Regardless of that, here, what did I want to show you on this weekly chart? Why is this weekly chart here? Yeah, now I see that. So regardless of that, what we don't have on the charts right now is a P cycle top. So here, this P cycle top indicator, we're calling more or less accurately the last cycle's Bitcoin top. So if you would have gotten out here at $61,000, yes, you would have missed out on like another 10%, but it would have been actually a safe exit point and not risk, not stay with more risk in the market, because afterwards you got a massive drop to the downside, and then you were lucky enough to get a double top, which is not guaranteed, you know. So the P cycle top indicator, we're giving you a safe exit point here. So, but we have not even gotten a P cycle top indication yet, and I don't believe that we're gonna get one unless we are above $160,000 at least $160,000. That is my absolute bear case target for this overall bull run. I actually believe we go way higher than that, but this would be a number where I would expect at some point it might be start to flash, and that is then also the moment where you should be more careful with your positions and start laddering out of them. I'm gonna have a wrong chart. Oh, sorry, I just saw that. Wrong chart. Let me fix that. How did that happen? Wrong chart. I think it just froze. So give me here a second. Thank you for pointing that out. When I come back here, okay, that is not doing anything. Come on here. Sometimes that just happens. It's really annoying when it does. So here, there. Now, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna go over that again quickly. I'm really sorry for that. But yeah, good that I looked here quickly in the chat with my other eye, so and caught that. So again, the P cycle top indicator here at $61,500 would have been a safe exit point in the last cycle. Once it's flashing again, it's time to exit, guys. So it doesn't matter if you miss 10, 20% of a move. If it goes a little bit higher, it is a safe exit point, so just take it, and when Bitcoin flashes you that cycle top indication, so here that was in March, in April, so you have potentially another 5 to 6 weeks of altcoins running, so they get their last leg to the upside, but then altcoins are also done. So also then, when you get the cycle top indication, you should start laddering out of your altcoin positions, or at least have your stop losses in such a good place that whatever happens, you are fine, So, but you should then definitely have stop losses on these altcoin trades when you see that indication popping off. Now, on the lower time frames, on the 1 hourly chart, here is a small consolidation happening while the stochastic is resetting here. The RSI is going sideways, but slowly pointing up again, which leads to a small bullish divergence here, but it's a really tiny one. It's really small here, but there's a small bullish divergence. The bullish divergence will play out when we break $121,900 and go here back to $122,700. It might be then already completed. It doesn't have to go much higher than that. But this is something that you can watch here on the 1 hourly chart. I like more right now to watch the 50 minutes chart, because here we have a falling wedge pattern that has already broken out. I showed you earlier this parabolic curve, and lo and behold, I was right again. That curve got broken. We started consolidating, which usually happens when you get a curve like that. And here that consolidation is now your entry for the next move to the upside. So here, if you want to enter a Bitcoin trade, this is right now a good moment to do that. And you see this crazy wick to the bottom of that falling wedge as your stop loss. You see it's a really tight stop loss. And I would target close to $130,000. Maybe not exactly $130,000, just because it's, again, a round number. Some people, or too many people might sell at $130,000 because it's, again, a round number. So I rather go a little bit earlier out of that. Let's make that $129,500. Yeah. So there's a 6.4% move. If you put on that 20x leverage to make over 100%, you know, and you risk 8% to the downside. So this is definitely worth it, you know, with what you can walk here away, because the risk to reward ratio is crazy. You know, it's 14.7 to 1, you know, so why would you not take that trade, you know? So with such a small stop loss, you risk 8% to make 132%, no, 124%, yeah, 124% roughly. So definitely worth taking this trade. So here the target of the falling wedge alone is already $123,000. And I believe when we get there, we start and we keep going higher, you know, so it will not stop here. The stochastic is about to print a buy signal again. The RSI will turn around. The MACD will lose more momentum on the sell side. Right now we're going down a little bit, but give it maybe another 15 minutes, you know, and I think we start turning around here once again. If you want to take this trade, guys, there is in the pinned in the chat box a link pinned, and also in the description to sign up on BloFin. The more you trade right now, the more you can actually get here. You can get an iPhone, you can get a MacBook, you can get also the Rolex, you can get an Apple Vision Pro. It depends on how much volume you make, but this is guaranteed. You know, when you hit the volume, you can get these things, and you can also convert that, as far as I know, into cash. If you don't want this, you know, you don't want the iPhone, you don't want the MacBook or the Rolex, you can just ask to get this in USDT, and they're going to credit that into your account. So like I said, there is a link in the video, in the stream description, and also a pinned link in the chat. Plus, if you deposit at least $100, you will enter the giveaway, $500 every Sunday from now on. If you sign up, you will be in that giveaway. So go and check that out. And I also give away live here on the stream the money to the people that have actually signed up. And it will be funny. It will be funny. You're going to see later. There's actually something really funny about this. So here on the 4-hourly chart, also here you just see the start of a small consolidation phase. You can actually, for now, have here a small support zone. Not sure if this is going to hold, you know, so we could just drop down here to the next, oh, well, where did this come from? So we could just drop down all the way to this here, to $118,800 approximately. If that's not holding, that's the next level that I would be looking out for. So, but for now, it's there. So I don't want to draw a line up here on the top of the wick, because I don't know what's shaping up here. You know, it could be a bull flag, can be a symmetrical triangle, you know, so we don't know yet. It could be a W. So just this is here short-term support for now. And on the MDX algo scalp gradients, here also just consolidation while we are printing red candles. But here, I think this is not super red anymore, the current candle. This is less red than the previous one. But warning sign here again, we have now a bearish divergence on the 4-hourly chart here on the reactor indicator. And that is usually a sign of a potential pullback coming in. So here we need potentially to pay close attention to what's going on with Bitcoin, because one of the first areas, bounce areas, is all the way down here where the CME gap currently is. $117,844 to $116,856. That is the first target when Bitcoin starts dropping to the downside, from where we potentially bounce. If we don't bounce from there, then we go all the way down to 114, 111,000, something like that. Maybe just wick into this support area here. So these are all buy order blocks in blue, just that you know what it is. And then we bounce back into higher levels. So the run is then not over, guys, you know, so the run is not over when that happens. And it's just basically a briefer that we need to reset everything, and then we will keep going higher. On the liquidation levels, so now earlier on the stream, I warned you about this, that you're gonna see here more people coming in with long positions exactly in that area. And there you see again why we have confluence now across different time frames with that range. Not only is here the CME gap, but we have also other levels in alignment with that, and now also the liquidation levels pointing to that fact that this might be the first area of interest when we see here any small pullback on Bitcoin, where we bounce from to the upside, because market makers will come. So don't be so foolish and don't think that they are not coming for this. They will come for this because it's the lowest hanging fruit right now for them to take long liquidity, and then using that as fuel to go here higher. Because what's going to happen when they come down here for that liquidity? Some idiots will open shorts, you know, over leveraged shorts all the way down here. And then what we are going to do when we are done down here, we're gonna get sent back up to take out everything that's in here. On the liquidation heat map, I think nothing really changed here in the last couple hours. No, so also here still $116,700 all the way down to $115,100 approximately is the biggest area of interest here on the way down. You see here there is a little bit at 118,000, and then if we are not stopping there, then we go all the way down here, like I said, to $112,600, $111,000. And from there, we should actually get a nice bounce then into higher levels. Let's see what did the altcoin index since the earlier stream. Did we go higher? No, lower. So that's good, guys. So when you see this cooling down a little bit, that is always a good sign for me. But we see this also in altcoins right now. They're pulling back just slightly and not really massively. Which is fine, you know, so my trades, they are all fine. But I want to mention here again, this will expand really quickly over the next coming days. You're going to see that. So we will not wobble here around for a long extended period. We will keep going up until we hit here the altcoin season at 75. But the problem is you don't want to enter altcoins, you know, at 75 here on that index. You want to do that while we are still here in these low ranges, because when we are up here at 75, most of the coins will have done 100%, 200%. Maybe some will have done 500%. So you don't want to squeeze, you know, when already out of a squashed lemon, the last bit of juice that's in it, you know, you want to get the full fresh lemon when it's in your hand, you know, so, and not just when 10 other hands already pressed it, like squeezing, squeezing the rest out of that. So, and that's why you have to position yourself right now and find good entries, and not when we are all the way up here. You know, then it's technically too late. You know, it's not like that you cannot make money there anymore, but it is more complicated and way more risky than opening positions right now. So here the dominance keeps falling to the downside, the same as earlier, just that we moved a little bit more away now from the 65% level, which I really like. And now today, yeah, I don't think that today we're going to break here below 64% unless something crazy will happen. But tomorrow, a good start would be breaking 64% here and start heading into lower levels. You should see a massive drop in the dominance once we're getting below 61.87%. So once we are below that low here, there should be a proper big candle to the downside. That does not mean that on the way down now, there will be not a lot of coins moving 50, 60%, because some of them did already. You are still going to see that, but you're going to see most of the altcoins, the majors, doing double digits when we break this level here and you get one big red dildo to the downside. The total free market cap is approaching here $1 trillion, as I mentioned earlier. So we actually reclaimed a part of the candle. We were lower earlier than we are now, which is good. By tomorrow, after tomorrow, maximum, we're at $1 trillion, and it will reflect on altcoins. Here are my altcoin trades. So if you remember earlier, my AVI trade was a little bit lower. Yeah, 10% lower actually, I remember. And my Aptos trade was a little bit higher, but that's fine. It's pulling back a little bit because it's facing resistance. I'm going to show that here in a moment, why it's facing resistance. If you want to trade with me together, guys, on Bybit, then sign up here. You get up to $30,000 in sign up and deposit bonuses and a Bybit card. Right now, 20% cash back on the Bybit card, which is amazing. You just need to be eligible for that. So go and check that out. There's a link in the description below. Ethereum keeps pushing here into higher levels on the 4-hourly chart. I have to look here now quick on the 1-hourly chart. How things are looking there. Yeah, so here we are basically also just consolidating. Once we're taking out $3,083, we should get a nice push, most likely into the final take profit point here of that overall trade setup that I had given here on last Wednesday. That must have been last Wednesday. Yeah, last Wednesday I had given that trade as far as I remember. So then we're gonna hit the take profit, but it doesn't mean that there are no trades that you can take right now. So I actually said earlier, when we were breaking out of that bull flag, which we already did, then you can enter that. No, Saturday is when I said this. Saturday, when we break out of the bull flag, you can enter this trade. It's not too late to enter this. We are 2% away, even not 2%. So we are just below, a little bit below 2% here away to enter that bull flag trade. So just that you see here, for that bull flag, the target is a little bit higher than that. Of the trades that I had originally given, $3,260 approximately. So which is from the current price level, still a 6.8% move to the upside. So still worth taking that bull flag trade here overall, if you want to do that. So, and the stop loss should be here at $2,900 approximately if you would take the trade right now. So it is a 5% stop loss. So the risk to reward ratio is a little bit shit on that one. But I would personally still risk that with like 10x. So here you see expansion on the daily chart, which is a good sign. I believe that tomorrow we will continue to push higher here in direction of $3,200. So by tomorrow you could potentially close that trade here already. And when you see here, tomorrow's kind of pushing into higher levels, expect the majority of Ethereum coins to move with that to the upside. I'm going to show you here in a little bit some coins that will definitely move with Ethereum. I have some trades running on these coins here on other platforms. Then Solana also here trying to break above $168.50. Once Solana breaks above that, also here, there will be a major candle on the 4-hourly chart going most likely straight to $176, $180 in one go. So I don't believe that Solana will chill around that level that much. When it breaks through that, it will just go. And while I say that, Solana is one of the coins that is lagging right now. Ethereum is trying to catch up already a little bit, but Solana is still lagging behind a lot compared to what other coins are doing. And this is also a little bit surprising to me. After Pump.Fun just did a $600 million raise in 12 minutes, so there is definitely money in Solana to push the price higher. Then here on the bump and run pattern, last entry to trade this, in my opinion, if you want to do that, is more or less at the current price level where we at. From here you can technically enter this. Just need to have here a proper stop loss at $159.60. And then your first target has to be for a proper risk to reward ratio, $209 roughly, $207.80. Sorry, that's what it is, $207.80. You can trade this all the way up here to the overall target of the bump and run pattern, which is $324.28, which is a 93.36% move to the upside. So because I think, is this a new all-time high if we get there? I think it is it? Yeah, that is a new all-time high. That is a new all-time high when we get there. So, but it's not that far off of the last one. It's basically another 10% move above the old all-time high. So here, my suggestion, if you trade this setup, take along these major resistance points, either a little bit profit or raise your stop loss to the previous resistance levels. So there are big levels in between, percentage-wise, if you go here from there to there. So let's say we hit $207 or $208, then here $180 will become a stop loss. So that is a 13% move. So that's, in my opinion, that's fine, So, and it gives definitely room enough for the price to move, So, but you should also not forget, when Bitcoin drops 10-20% to the downside in a proper correction, Solana will most likely drop 20-30%, So you're gonna get stopped out, but you're not that far away actually in that moment from your original entry, You're 5% away to re-enter potentially 5% higher if we would stop there, So it's not that bad, It's not that bad. So, but most likely Solana will be way, way higher before that is actually happening. I expect here like $240, $250, something like that, before Bitcoin actually gets a proper pullback. So now before I move on, I need that page again. One set, random. So let's go. Yeah, no, I actually don't need that. That's totally pointless. So here, I want to send the money live on the stream to the people that have won the $100 for last week, that are qualified for that on BloFin. So here comes the funny part. Only one person is qualified. So that means that person gets now $100. I would have given $100 to 5 people, which equals to $500, but only one person qualified and deposited. I don't know what the other people did. There were a bunch of other people. I will not say a number, but there were a bunch of other people that signed up, but only that number here is qualified. So 22431796300. If you're on that live stream right now, I'm gonna send you right now $100. I just need to see here. Withdraw. I think it's under transfer. Let's see. Oh, I actually have to transfer. I'm gonna send you Ethereum. So no, not, can I not transfer within the account like on Bybit? I think I can. Just need to find out. I think I can do that. Let me see if I can do that on my phone. But I know that normally I should be able to do that. I'm just gonna show you that I did that on my phone. Ah, yeah, here's transfer. So why? Ah, wait, main account. Okay, looks like I cannot do it myself. I cannot do an internal transfer like on Bybit, if I see that correctly. Can I do it here on my phone? Let's find out. No, I cannot do that. So, okay, if you're here on the live stream, don't worry, you're gonna get it. But in that case, you have to send me an email to info@amcrypto.us and show me your UID number. Here, your UID number. So the same that I just said here live on the stream. I need that number, a screenshot, you know, make a screenshot of that here and send that to the info@amcrypto.us email address. And then we're gonna send you the $100 and a wallet address, please. Send it with a wallet address, a USDT TRC20 wallet address, and then we're gonna send you that the $100. I'm gonna post it on Twitter that people actually can see that we did that. So then, if you wanna be in on the next giveaway, and I hope then a lot of people will deposit a little bit more, because that was basically a joke. You know what to do. Deposit $100, sign up with the link in the description and in the chat, the pinned link, and you will qualify for that. Oh wow, Injective dropped a lot. Also Optimism. So let's start with altcoins. So Optimism. Right now, you could technically enter this, but here comes the but. The safe entry would be above that downward sloping trend line here. So you want usually to wait before that trend line is broken, because that is a multi-month big resistance line. And once that trend line is broken, you're gonna get a nice juicy pump to the upside past 70 cents here really, really quickly. The other way how you can enter this is if we come down here to this neckline, that is a support and resistance flip zone. So now we are moving down. If we come all the way down here, perfect entry at 66 cents and 53, and yes, 53. And if you want to play it really, really safe, you wait for 72 cents to be broken for that overall setup to 95 cents. So you know me already, I'm a little bit more on the riskier side of things. So I actually entered this here already and wait for the break of this downward sloping trend line, but you do what you do, that's just me, what I do. Then I wanted to talk earlier about XRP, did not get the chance. Is this the right chart? Yes, it is. I just need to go to a daily chart, I think. Yes, so that's the one that I wanted to talk about. So here on XRP, XRP did something crazy just now and broke here that wide resistance line, which was also a multi-month resistance area. Look here, all the way back to March and February. When we retested that the last time. So we got here a couple of days ago and also yesterday a rejection. Now we broke above that. Now this is broken. The all-time high, the last all-time high for XRP, actually here on, what is that, on Binance? That's crazy. The last all-time high, I think I have to go to Kraken chart, because that was not the last all-time high, $3.39. We were a little bit higher than that. We were at 370, I think, in 2017. Yeah, I think 2017 was when we were at $3.70 for XRP. So, which is in alignment here with the 1.5, 1.618 level, which is, in my opinion, also the next logical target for XRP. So here, this is right now, for me, a good entry. To enter here an XRP trade, to trade this into $3.72, $3.89, which is then, how much is that? So it's almost a 30% move all the way up to $3.90. Yeah, here 34%, and here 28. And that can happen also now really, really quickly, because there is not much resistance here in that area. And this is now 8 years ago. 8 years ago was basically a massive spike in a single day. So that here is the only area that could give us a little bit of resistance now on the way higher up. And that will not give us a lot of resistance for XRP. So XRP, in my opinion, will just keep going up here like this over the next couple of days. Then Algo is another one that's flying like crazy. So here it retested a major resistance at 30 cents 75, got rejected. Then here the next resistance at 28 cents 0.2, also rejected. We are below that right now. So here, again, if you want to find an entry, I look at least the 1 hourly chart. I don't look at higher time frames for that, at least the 1 hourly chart. And look if I can find a pattern, like here, downward sloping parallel channel or something like here. So this would also qualify as a bull flag formation here with that pole. And you just wait for the breakout, and that is already here at 34 cents 47 then approximately. So past both major resistance areas, and then it will anyway fly here into 43 cents. And also this, again, matter of days potentially. If I show you now how quick Algo moved over the last couple of days, you're going to understand. Look here, how quick it moved. So I gave here a couple, what was that? On Thursday, I think. On Thursday or Friday, I talked about this and said, if it pulls back here into that green area, take the trade. If it breaks the downward sloping trend line, take the trade. If you would have done that, then you would be currently up, how much? From the safe entry, you would be still up 22.7%. But on the high today, you would have been up 36%. So and if you entered from the trend line here, what I would have done, you would be up roughly 30%, and here to the top side, 44%. So you see that happened really quickly. You know, once we broke above that trend line, that is within 3 days. You know, within 3 days, we moved over 40%. And that is happening to many other coins right now. You know, so and XRP, in my opinion, will keep pushing like that. Then we talked about this. Then injective. So I'm currently in an injective trade. What is here? Okay. Bitcoin just dropping a little bit. That's why also other coins are pulling back currently. So I entered here from $12.70. Where did I enter? 71, I think. Where did I enter this? 68. So 68. In the last 4 hourly candle. No, that was here in that pump. Here in that candle. Because I thought it might break now to the upside, but it's still consolidating. So if I go into the 1 hourly chart, you see a little bit better. Huge consolidation range here, still getting rejected from $12.83. But once it breaks that, it's gonna send. You know, it will go almost, immediately to $15 over the same day. It will not take a long time to reach $15. That's not a crazy move, you know. So just that you see that it's like a 20% move, a 16.5% move actually. So that's what I'm waiting for, and that's why I am in that trade right now already, and basically was a percent early on that trade, you know. So but it's fine, you know. I have more money also on the sideline to add more to that position just in case that it breaks a little bit lower, and Bitcoin actually starts right now its proper pullback to close the CME gap. So but otherwise just wait for the break of $12.83, or if we are reaching here the green zone down here, $12 what is that, $12.06 to $11.58, then enter from there. And you have a way better entry than me right now. So I might just add in these regions to my trade. Then I know a lot of you guys want to see Cardano. Oh, actually on this chart, crazy. I thought on this layout I charted for Cardano, but it doesn't matter. I can do that now freestyle really quickly. So here, there are some levels. So I did something here on the chart. Maybe just not visible. Okay, maybe old levels. Doesn't matter. Absolutely fine for me. So here we have a local rounding bottom here. You can also call that, if you want, a cup and handle pattern. So it qualifies actually as a cup and handle pattern like that here on 1 hourly chart. So in here that would be your pull with your target, 83 cents. There's roughly a 10% move. Yeah, 10.3% to the upside only to get there. Once it's there, it will keep pushing to 90 cents, most likely to $1 from these levels. So here you just wait basically that this downwards trend here, that downwards resistance line, this one here gets broken at some point, and then you enter this and trade this to the upside. So wherever that line gets broken, from there you enter this. And I would trade this straight into 90 cents. I would not stop at the target. So, and then you put your stop loss there, that is not bad. So 3.47% of a stop loss against 20.86% of a profit, plus the leverage that you use, 5x is what I would suggest on that trade. You make 105% on that whole setup against a 17% stop loss, so which is absolutely fine. Another coin that you should keep your eyes on, especially when Ethereum is moving, is 1 inch. So one inch pulled back into the first area that I'm interested in to long it from. So if that area does not hold and you start building here a position now, and it actually falls here into the 0.5 level, then here you add more. If we lose 26, what is this, 26 cents 75, and we go lower, then here at like roughly 25 is where you set your stop loss. But I would start laddering into positions here right now, because we are sitting here on the golden ratio. That downward sloping trend line is acting still as support on the 4 hourly chart, while we are consolidating it to the downside. So here could be by tomorrow or after tomorrow, the next big move be happening, which will be most likely again a parabola like here in the past. Because when you look here at this huge parabola, we pulled back to the downside, the same what we're doing right now, but we got here a pump, then now pulling back again. So next we should get another pump to the upside. Yeah, most likely in direction here of like 40 cents or something like that. Let me see, then AVI. So I'm also here in AVI, one of the trades that you saw earlier. Here currently pulling back. If you get a chance to enter here at around $313, where we have horizontal support and the downward sloping trend line, really good entry. If you are already in since $310, you're also fine, because the target did not change. $447 is the target to the upside. I want to look here in the chat a little bit what you guys want to see. Let me go quick over uni. Oh wow, that looks ugly on the 4 hourly chart right now. So technically, because I know I had given this here also on Wednesday, most likely Wednesday, or I did this on Saturday when I gave the uni trade at $8.40. I told you guys enter here at $8.40. You would be nicely up here, over 20% I think right now. Still, okay, 11.2% up, which is still not bad, so it's still a good trade here. But now we're pulling back. So this will pull back to $9 roughly, $9, $8.70-ish. That is the area where I see this pulling back, if it keeps pulling back here. So let me actually draw this in here, $9. There, $9. And then $8.70 roughly. Yeah, kind of like that. So here, that is the area where I see this coming down to, because this looks like a topping formation to me right now on uni. So, and if that is a topping formation here and in 1 hour 20 the kind of closes like that, I expect continuation, and we're going to hit that green box. And from there, you can either add to your position or actually open a new position to trade this into the $12.42 target. So let me have a look here in the chat. Is that the same person? Let's see. Let me see here. Say, so I do that on the fly because I know I did not chart say. Maybe on the other one over here I have say. Oh wow, Doge also coming back into my buy zone right now for continuation. So let me have a look here at say. Because here I maybe have charted something in the past. No, not at these levels. So also here, just consolidating, can clearly see that. Here I would actually use these highs as resistance. There's now multiple times that we have touched that. So here, that is your trading range for say right now. So if you want to open a new position, do it from the bottom, from 31.45 cents, or you do it from a break of that bull flag formation, because this qualifies as a bull flag right now, or the top side here at 35 cents for what is that, 35 cents 55. So then your upside target is $45.48 roughly. So that is, let's see how big is that move, almost a 30% move to the upside. So from the bottom it would be of course way more than that. So let me look here. And then the other one was Pepper. I know that Pepper was moving here really quickly over the last couple of days. So let's have a look here. Where's Bybit? Oh, only on spot on Bybit? I cannot believe that. Okay, then let's go to BitGet for that. Oh yeah, that had a little bit of a pullback. See on a daily chart. Oh, we're looking here. I see here potentially, let's see. Yeah. So here, Pepper is fighting with this downward sloping trend line coming from last December. Once we are breaking that, expect here also a quick expansion to the upside, something like these three daily candles here in the past. That's what I'm seeing when we are breaking above that. Where you get here 1, 2, 3, quick to the upside, most likely here close to the 0.402. So that is what I see here, where Pepper goes next once we're breaking that downward sloping trend line. In the meantime, if we are coming back, if we come all the way back down here, then that would be another level from where I would start building a position here from 11.6671. So whatever comes first is what I would trade here. On the lower time frames, let's see, 4 hourly, yeah, might bottom out around there. 1 hourly might, yeah, is already bottoming out. 16 minutes could technically already turn around here in 16 minutes with the next 1 hourly kind of retesting again the downward sloping resistance line here. Then render, I forgot again, but I think on this chart I have render set up. Let's see. Yeah, I have here render. So render also crazy run to the upside. I see here an inverse head and shoulders pattern on the 1 hourly chart. If I go to a 30-minute chart, it should be cleaner. Yeah, a little bit. Here is your shoulders. The neckline is not broken yet. So this is more of a trend line like that here. So for that, inverse head and shoulders pattern is not broken yet. All the way to here. Once it's broken, the target is a moving target. So let's say we break it over here. Then the target is $4.35 roughly. So here, while we are dropping, the next level that I would be interested in to trade this from is more or less where we are at right now. So if we drop below that, I would keep adding to this position until $3.72. So another 2% basically to the downside, which is not crazy, you know, to keep laddering into that. That's like the worst that I see where it goes down to before it bounces at least back here to roughly $4. to the upside. So I might actually be inclined to open here trade on that while it's pulling back like this. Might do that in a second, because it looks really not that bad here across different time frames. Only on the 4-hourly it looks bad, but that's the problem in a bull run. You cannot look too much on higher time frames what indicators are doing there, because price action is superior to what indicators are showing you on the higher time frames. They're distorted and delayed on higher time frames. That's why you need to rely on shorter time frames. And I mentioned that earlier. I look on 15-minute time frames for entries. So here you have a nice consolidation going on here in that area. So that's what I'm looking for. As long as we are keeping that range, that is the area where I start building positions from before we get the next push into higher levels. Other coins, guys, other coins. I will be here for another maybe 5 minutes, and then I order some food. Give me some other coins that I can go through quick if you want some, because here's 125 people on the stream. Thank you for that, first of all. Earlier were a little bit more, and let me also know in the chat if you want me to keep doing 2 streams per day. So we are not doing bad on this stream. The first one was of course better, but maybe we can switch that up, tomorrow. So but let me know in the chat, guys, and maybe some other people than just here Maverick and Mark and what who was the other one? Kappa was the other one, yeah. In the meantime, let's see. In the meantime, I might do quick here. See here, already now green candle again. If the level holds, then it bounces from here and will go higher. Oh yeah, Ondo. Okay, let's have a look on Ondo. I did not look for a long time what's happening with Ondo. Don't even know if I have something on here for Ondo. Doesn't look like it. Oh, here. Oh, that will pop soon. Good for pointing that out. I'm gonna set here an alarm for myself. So when that is popping here over almost 96 cents, it's gonna fly. And at the same time, I see here the next major level where it's going to pop to $1.11. So that is, how much is that here? So here's an easy 16% trade. So why? Because if you look a little bit on the shape here, massive W pattern. And that's just to the neckline. If it breaks the neckline, it will go way higher than that. So we'll just take it like that here. Neckline. Oh shit, I know what I still forgot to do. You know what I did, guys? I came back home after gym, and then I thought, oh, I should wash my clothes, so because I really needed to wash them. I washed them, I started charting, I heard the washing machine stopping, and did not go and hang on my clothes. Now I have to wash it again because it's now like 4 hours already, like wet in the washing machine. Shit, I just remembered. I have to do that after the stream. So yeah, here the W pattern target is $1.55.5 more or less. So that is a massive trade. From here, that first major resistance when we break that, there's a 62% trade. And also this, again, potentially just a couple of days that you need to wait for this to be playing out. Maybe a week, if you're really unlucky, it might take a week to play out. But that's absolutely fine in my opinion, So, and it's really easy, right now. You just go on a daily chart, you look where these resistance areas are, and prices most coins right now just below it, just below that. Set alarms there when it breaks it, or just a little bit below, when it starts moving, that you get alerted. Then you can watch if it breaks that level or not, live, and then you enter or you don't, so up to you. So let me have a look here. Finally we're getting here some more coins. I'm gonna do virtual. Let's see, virtual is actually also a good one. Yeah, virtual there. Oh, I have here old levels on that. So this I need to remove. So here big resistance levels from the past. crazy. I totally forgot about this, and I've done this. So here is definitely resistance. And then most likely down here, that one. Yeah, so if it breaks $1.82, might be inclined to enter this to at least $2.08, so which is almost a 12% move, I think. 14% actually, yeah, 14%. Then I would reassess and see what's happening. If it breaks here also $2.08 and keeps flying, then the next target would be $2.58, which might happen also fairly quickly, because here's something I want to show you. I just saw that. We did not really had huge candles, something like this here, you know, more or less a parabolic move in virtuals yet. So the last time was in May, where we more or less had something like this. And it's basically brewing below that $1.80 line here right now. I think when it breaks that, you're going to see something like this here copied over here, you know, and then you're above $3 when that is happening. Let me do quick AVAX. That's the last one that I go through. And then I get something to eat and gonna restart my laundry. So here, I had somewhere else an AVAX chart. I forgot where it was. Where's my AVAX chart? Do I still have it here somewhere? Doesn't look like it. Okay, we're gonna leave that. So broke this downward sloping trend line here already at $19 roughly. So it's now almost 12, also 12, 15% away from the trend line. But here, look at this again. More or less it actually retested this resistance area here today. Same thing, you know, same thing. Just a little bit above that, you have again a W pattern forming here. Same thing again, massive W pattern. So you find this across many coins right now on the daily time frame. That's the only thing that you need to look for. You know, it was never that easy to look for something right now on the chart, and then especially when they did not break out yet, then you only need to look at the lower resistance to be broken, you know, on a W pattern, not the neckline, the resistance below that, and that's your entry. You know, that's your entry, and then you just play the W pattern, and I guarantee you it's going to hit, you know, especially because these targets of these W patterns, they are really far away from their all-time highs, you know, so give it a week or two and these targets will be hit, you know. It is really that easy right now. The market is again in easy mode, you know, so where you just throw money at something and it will just go up without that you get, unless you use like crazy leverage. But if you use like 3, 4, 5x leverage, you will not get liquidated, you know, on these trades. So really easy. Guys, I have to run. We're here 52 minutes again on that stream right now. Thank you so much for tuning in. And don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I see you definitely with more money in your portfolio tomorrow.